Hey guys, I'm Aryan Anuj. I'm a rapid prototyper. So the problem that I was facing is I was trying to make my agent go on internet and search, do the web scraping, get some results. Okay. I wanted to go on web and scrape. But the problem was it was not reliable. There are good tools out there, different paid tools. There are open source tools, but um, I was facing the problem of reliability. Meaning is I'm not able to observe whenever a agent, whenever that plugin, if I'm using as a plugin, like in Open Router there is a plugin called colon online. Okay. So if you use this, basically it acts as a plugin. Let me show you. Yeah. So basically it enables us to do the search on real-time basis for any model. So you could connect. So this could be the easiest way. But what I found out here was that it was not that reliable because whenever it failed, it didn't give any reasons, not a proper explanation of kind. Okay. So I was getting stuck. I did not know exactly how to fix it because I was not able to observe it. So that led me to think, what what can I do differently? So after that, I started thinking, and I got to a point where I started thinking in terms of small boxes. I started decomposing every bit. Like how does a scraper actually work? So there are simple scrapers, HTTP. Um, if we just use HTTP, so it works with that as well by just loading HTTP requests. Okay. Just by loading it. But that is not always the case. So I found out that if I just use this, I could do GitHub scraping. Okay. The README, the README files. So that led me to think, what else can I do differently? Then I found out about Gina. It is a paid tool, but there is some limit that you can use. I think it is 60 requests per minute, I believe. It gives really good um, view. It scrapes really well, and then it renders. It view would not be the right way to say it. It creates a markdown file. It gives LLM ready information. Okay, and that is organized properly. Okay, so but the thing is, even Gina could not scrape all the websites. Then I went to Firecrawl, like, but it is a paid tool. Okay, but whichever tool I went for, AI, it's open source, it's paid, it has some limit. Then after that, it's paid. Okay, So whichever tool I went for, it was just, they were giving us an endpoint. You connect it to that, you connect your agent to that, and then your agent can now access the web. There are other layers in between as well, like whenever a user asks a query, then it has to get interpreted. Okay, it has to get interpreted, and then totally depends upon the kind of techniques the developer is applying. uh, we could add a system where it will search for the best links on Google. It will give us 5 links, and then we'll give all these links to the scraper. Suppose we are calling Gina. Okay, it will have it on a queue or parallel execution depending upon how it works, and then it will give all those retrieved data from scraping back. Okay, so we'll take this LLM ready data and we'll give it to our LLM. Okay, but what if this link is not, we are not able to access this link, we are just getting this, and there is no explanation for that, and there is depending upon how it is developed, there could be a retry mechanism. But suppose if the error is of such a kind where it will now not work with Gina, or it will not work with any kind of other scraper, any particular scraper, let's call it Firecrawl, maybe it is not working with Firecrawl, what then? So I thought, like, we need to have an approach where all these scrapers are just extensions of how we fetch from the web. Okay, and I built only the simple ones. First was HTTP method, then was browser, then Gina is free for certain limits, so that's why Gina, and then crawl for AI. Okay, let's put it like this, the way they are open source. These two I built on my own, simple ones, and this is what I used, open source. It has a lot of features, really a lot of features, but I did not use all of its features because I want to progress um, incrementally, not suddenly. Yeah. Then Gina, because I want my agent to go and research about something. Mostly I use GitHub, so I at least want to have the knowledge of GitHub repos, but I wanted to explore to archive as well, and different wherever it can get information from, reliable information, maybe wiki, maybe archive, it's written like this, I believe. Then maybe wiki, or then GitHub, or maybe it could be news blogs or something like that. So GitHub is actually simple. If you open the raw link, then it can scrape the normal HTTP, can scrape it. Browser works where you have to get the DOM, and then you go inside and then you fetch it. So that works there. So basically, then I came to this approach where I need my scrapers to be an extension of my system. So I thought, why not create a system? Why not create a web ingestion tool that will have different fetchers? Okay, it will be like a registry. Today I created HTTP, then I this method, then I created crawl for like, suppose I added Gina, maybe I added Firecrawl. Depending upon what kind of input is given, we can change the kind of fetcher we want to use, And the good thing is that when we have a system that is encompassing everything, what will change is whatever they do, there will be a normalization layer. Okay. And after that, there is also, so see, they could be scraping in different ways. They could be like everyone, like every scraper is scraping for LLMs, right? Or like right now, crawl for AI is specifically for AI. Okay, it's written in its name. But yeah, they give us markdown file. It also gives us markdown file, and the way I created this, it also gives us markdown file. Okay, it removes all the HTML tags and containers, everything, cleans it up, and then gives us. And so the problem is there could be different formats. So having a system that is encompassing everything, what changes is that whichever fetcher you use, you can normalize it, you can change the structure and create a single artifact. And why I'm calling it a artifact? Artifact. Because whenever we ask a scraper to go on internet and search for something, whenever we ask a scraper to go on internet, it's more like we are asking it to go look out in the world and tell us what you see, bring us the data at a certain time. So it will have a timestamp as well. And when it goes back to do the same search, it will have a different version, v2 version. Okay. So every time we go out and look, there will be different information. So that is why I'm calling it an artifact with timestamp versioning, so that we'll know how things are changing across the internet, how our information is getting updated. Okay. So this was my basic idea, that I need to create a system where I can observe what is failing, and it has to fail loudly. Also, whenever it fails, it also has to tell us that is it recoverable or not. If yes, then how? Okay, so that we know exactly what to use next time, so our system learns from the mistakes. In this current era, we do not want any kind of system that does not learn from its own mistake. We want every mistake to count and our system to improve. So let me show you the system that I created. Here are the Docker. Okay, first let me show you the web ingestion tool. This is the web ingestion tool that I have created because I really needed it. Whenever I try to go on the internet and I try to use the APIs for the scrapers, I connected with my AI agent, and I always faced a problem. The problem was it was not reliable enough. Whenever it was failing, it was not telling me why is it failing. So I was like, dude, tell me, and then only I can do anything about it. Otherwise, even if I connect a API layer to Firecrawl or Gina or any kind of open source or even a paid API that fetches information from the web, it is not reliable enough because it is not telling me why is it failing and how can I improve it. So what I did was I created this web ingestion tool. I added crawl for AI also. It is an open source scraper. It has a lot of features. I've not added all of it because I'm trying to do it one by one. I created my own static version as well, like that does that HTTP. It just fetches through that, and then a browser version, and then I also added Gina to compare every kind of results, and also as a fallback, if you could say. So whenever you want to go on web and we want to fetch information, I think there are only certain places at which we want to master first, because we need our AI agent to be intelligent enough, to be knowledgeable enough to talk about any topic. And for me, it is mostly about the coding tasks, right? I want it to go to GitHub and read it and give me the file in a way that LLM understands, which is usually markdown. So here are like 5 categories, although there are a lot of categories that I've included in this particular ingestion tool, web ingestion tool. But let's go through these 5 categories and see if the tool works. Okay, I'll keep adding the URLs one by one, and we'll see how it works. So basically, official technical documentation, then GitHub READMEs, then Stack Overflow, then Wikipedia, because a lot of information is over there, and frameworks, guides, and all that. Because me being a developer, I need to I need my agent to help me in coding tasks as well. So that's why. Plus, it can scrape quite a lot. Sometimes it runs into error, and I actually like when it runs into error because it tells me it fails loudly, and it tells me why is it failing and how can I recover it. That's the beauty of creating things on your own. I can shape it however I want. Okay, let's. For now, this goal is just a string. Um, but when we connect it to AI agent, then it will be meaningful, because then it will be able to, like, my agent will be able to redirect it. Will once we add the intelligence layer, basically. So here I'm selecting include scraped content, because if it is scraping, I also want to see it on the screen. Whatever happens inside the system to be visible on the UI. So that is why I have just selected include scraped content. I've added this option, this feature as well. So let's execute the task. We'll keep the fetcher on auto select. We have a lot of fetchers, right? They are individual scrapers, but I created a meta system which uses them as extensions, not overall. Like, I don't want to depend on just one thing. Because that's why I've not added a lot of features from Crawl for AI. It's actually good, but I've not added. We'll do it step by step. We'll see what works, what doesn't, and we'll craft a ingestion layer, web ingestion layer that is so powerful that once we connect AI agent to it, we can relax and we can chill about any kind of artifact that it is generating. Also, it generates artifacts. If you'll see here, okay, it's done. You'll see here. Where is it? Is it writing somewhere that it is generating artifact? Mm, uh, 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 uh. Okay, no worries. Basically, um, in the first link, it was a tutorial. So this is how it looks. So we were able to scrape it, and this was the markdown version that will go to the LLM. Okay. Then there is this GitHub repo. So it was also scraped. It was for Django. And yeah, this README had less information. We could choose a different README as well. I like this one. Okay, let's see this repo. Let's run it one more time. Okay. For now, we'll run it one more time, and let's see other responses as well. Then we'll execute again. I'm asking it to show details. Okay, am I not able to click on it? Okay, yeah. So this was for the software architecture on Wikipedia. See, we were able to scrape that as well. Here is the raw version. Okay, and then there are 3 failures. We were not able to. Okay, this is beyond the threshold. For now, the threshold, the logic that I've set is that quality is insufficient based on the number of words it fetched. It is actually very, like, we can change it once we add the intelligence layer. Then the routing and how it wants to retry it will be totally dependent on that. For now, I just hard coded it, so it actually succeeded. We'll test read GitHub with again a different repo, this repo, okay, that I've pasted. I've not executed it yet. Here is the blocked content, soft block. Okay, see, this is what I was saying. I don't care if it is failing. I want it to tell me why is it failing and what kind of uh, block is it? How can I overcome it? So it's a soft block, okay, and again it's a soft block on Node.js. Okay, let's see. We'll run it again. This time we had this time we had ASIR. It should look something like this. Let's see. Okay, waiting for you. Da, 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 da. Okay, it was able to execute. We got 3000 words from this one that we got earlier as well. Then we got Wikipedia. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Okay, it was able to scrape it. Then we have the failures. What are the failures? We were not able to scrape this one. It's a soft block. Okay, let's remove everything. This one, this one. Okay, now let's try one by one with different scrapers. So what was happening is that the logic that I've set inside was to try one scraper after the other and always stop after two tries. So we have four different scrapers. So it stopped. It may have stopped. It may have started with this one because I made it random. Initially started with the random. Okay, let me show you exactly what I mean. So it is not a sequential thing. The scrapers that we have, static, browser, Gina, the code that I've written inside, choose any one of them. Choose any one of them. If it does not work, then try a different one. Okay, second one. And if it also does not work, then stop. Because I do not want it to go in loop and just keep getting stuck. So that is why it stopped. And that's my reason for us to try again with a normal static scraper. Okay, let's see what happens. Which link is it? Oh, we did not give the right link. Maybe I pasted it wrong. Now we have to. Okay. Now this is the proper link. See, it worked. See. So that is how it works. With the GitHub, it has raw, like it transformed the normal GitHub link into the raw version. This is the raw version. This is here. So this is what we were scraping. A lot of HTML was here, and we removed it. And that is how the scraper thing works. And then we had Node.js. Okay, let's try this one then. Okay, let's try with the static one. Does it work with static? Let's see. It does not work with static. What does it say? It's a soft block. Okay, then let's try with the browser. Does it work? And keep in mind that it is the very first version of it. And okay, it did work. See, it worked, right? Let's try Jenna. That is a paid one. Okay, it also worked. See, This is what I was talking about. Earlier it was failing, but this time it did not. So before, the logic was this, like I hard coded some things because I was adamant not to add intelligence layer before, and that's the problem we usually face. We keep adding intelligence onto things, and where it is not even necessary. A normal heuristic approach could do it. And let's try. Did we get the question answer one? Did we get it? Let's try this. Firstly, let's try Jina only. Let's see. Okay, it failed. It is again a soft. Okay, let's try browser. This is what this. Let's try browser. This is what we created. Okay, it also failed. Challenge CAPTCHA challenge detected. Okay, see, we are getting why it failed, and when it tells us why it failed, we can always improve on it. It will even fail with crawl for AI because I have not initiated the CAPTCHA. It can do it, but I'm not. I'm using the very basic functionalities that it has. Let's see if crawl for AI is able to fetch it, because there is a CAPTCHA on this website. So that is the signal that we want to get. What exactly is the reason my scraper is failing? Okay. See, it is recoverable. And these are the steps that it took to handle failure. For now, it is hard coded, but later on, we can swap it with intelligence that we have not done yet. And here is the metrics. So, my main goal is to have an AI agent be able to scrape web with web tool, this web ingestion tool. I do not want to worry about what happened, what did not happen. As long as it is creating the artifact, we can verify it later on. And that is the tool. And if you want to know how I did what I did exactly, then I'll continue that in the next video, or I'll add it after this video only.